Welcome back, and this is where we left off the other day on the bill payment API using Flutterwave. And we just like I promised that we are going to be taking a look at the validation of the GOTV part. This part of the video is for it. But before I do that, I'd like to still say a huge shout out to AceGuard Company. AceGuard Company is a web development company that also deals with recharge card distribution, data management, and security. If you need any of those services, you can contact them using their phone number on the screen. Alright, so to move ahead right now to creating the interface where we should be able to validate GOTV, what we need to do is to go to our development environment, and that is going to be very simple, guys. So we are just going to copy. So we're just going to simply copy this page. This is validate.php. They are kind of similar, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and I'll go ahead and paste that on validate_gotv.com. Oh, sorry, not .com, but .php. Sorry about that. Alright, so and we need just quite a very few things here to change. The first thing we need to change right now is just, if we get to the HTML part of it, we can go ahead, instead of electricity and cable bill subscription, we can go ahead and say something like let's say validate GOTV. That's what I'm going to do right now, and we're just going to see just like that, and that's all for that part. And if we scroll up to the middle of this page right now, we should also change it. No, that's okay like that. If we go to within the PHP part of it, we are going to need just quite two things on this particular URL, which is the endpoint. We're going to have to change this bill item, and then we're going to have to change this bill code. And to do that, what we need to do is to make sure that we'll get the correct bill. That's why we couldn't use the same page to process it. Okay, if we want to use the same page and then dynamically check for these two things, and even the customer to come into this place, you can do that. But I just don't want to bring up any confusion. So what we're going to do right now is, if we go to our categories right now, you know, we queried for power before now, which if you go to the browser and you go to categories.php, you will agree with me that we really queried for only power. So all of the things that we have on this page right now are just for power alone, talking about electricity. If you scroll down, we are still going to be just be seeing the same thing. The same category of bills. This is a code, this called electricity bill payment. That's everything about power on this page. This is the bottom of the page, so it's just all about that. Okay, and what we need to do right now is to query this particular endpoint for cables. Okay, so if we go back to our development environment right now, so instead of power, we're going to just say cables. I think we've done this before, so it shouldn't be a problem for you to do right now. So if we just say cable, then equal to 1, and if we go ahead and save that, then we go to the categories.php. Let's go ahead and refresh this page, and if everything works fine, we should be able to fetch all of the data that are just peculiar to that of the GOTV, not GOTV but cables. Okay, we can't just say GOTV right now, we just say cables, and it seems that did went through. So if you look at this page now, it's all about cables this time around. So this is DSTV. If you check the next one, this is still DSTV. Or if you keep scrolling down, you are going to be seeing things that are just peculiar to cables. And the one that I want to work on right now is going to be GOTV. So I'm going to scroll to where we have GOTV. So this is GOTV, but you need to check that the country is Nigeria. This one is for Uganda, UG. So I'm going to keep scrolling until I find Nigeria. Keep scrolling, and here we go. So this from this part right now is Nigeria. So this is DSTV, and it's Nigeria. But what I'm really looking for is GOTV, not DSTV. So I should keep scrolling until I find GOTV, and that is it. So we are now on GOTV. So from this part down is GOTV. So this is GOTV Smalley. Okay, so let's say we want to work on that one right now. There are some other packages that are still in here. So if you get this one is GOTV Maximum, if you keep scrolling, you keep seeing some other packages that they have, but we can work with this one. Okay, so at least the price of this one is just 800 naira. So we are going to need this particular code. So I'm going to take it, called biller_code. So I'll copy that, and if I go back to my development environment, I need to go to validate GOTV.php, and once you are in this page right now, so this is where you have to stick the code that we just copied right now. So that's going to be code is equal to whatever you copied. So I'm going to paste what I copied that time. So Ctrl V to paste that. So that's BIL and 122 right there. So the next one that we'll need is to go and get this one, this particular bill_item. So if we go back to the browser right now, and that one is under this place where we have item_code. So we're going to copy that one, and if we go back to our development environment, we need to stick that right here. So I'm going to paste that right here. So this particular line is going to go ahead and validate that particular GOTV. Okay, talking about GOTV small right now, this is going to go ahead and then try to validate it. So once the what is it called, the items or the data that we copied here matches, it's going to go ahead and validate. It's going to find the customer within the biller's system and then display the person's name or whatever data that is within that particular system. Okay, so what we need to do now is let's go ahead and save this page right now, and that's just all we need on this particular page. We'll have every other thing in place. So if we go back to our browser right now, we should be able to test this. And let's go back to our browser, and of course the page we need to visit right now is going to be validate_GOTV. So we're going to modify this URL. So we're going to just say _GOTV like that, and let's go ahead and then open that page up. We need to see that page right now in our browser, and this is the page right now. This is the page. All we need right now is to go ahead and stick in the smart card number right here, and then we'll click on validate. Then if everything works fine, it's going to go ahead and validate that particular customer. So we're going to get the customer's smart card number right now. All right, so here is the smart card number. So it's going to be 70-350-03908. So let's go ahead and then click on validate right now. Just make sure that what you entered right here is correct. So if you click on validate customer, it's going to go ahead to validate that. And congratulations, that went through. So if you take a look at the owner name, this is Mike, and this is the customer's meter number. And of course, they don't have they don't normally charge they don't normally specify the maximum and the minimum amount that people normally pay. But for this one, 800 is the actual amount to be paid for this particular bill, which I think I've shown you within the category that time. So this is the amount that is to be paid. Okay, so this is the minimum, to be sincere. All right, so that is just as simple as that. We've validated the GOTV. Okay, so validated the GOTV. So the next thing that we need to do right now is to go ahead and then proceed to the next page where we'll have to make payment, and that is what is it called? It's called pay bill.php, which is this particular field. Okay, so that will be the next thing that we need to work on right now. And to do that, let's go ahead and open the page up for now. And of course the page is empty, so we need to, so before we get the code that is going to help us process whatever that is in this place, we need to first of all go to the documentation page and even find out what type of a request we should make. Okay, I guess it should be a post request, because we're going to basically need a few fields that customers will have to type in this place. So let's go back to the documentation right now, and if you get your documentation, let's scroll to the section where it says create bill. I think it's called create bills. And all right, so this is it right here. So we have a create a bill, and we'll have bulk bills and then the other one. So let's click on create a bill, and that should scroll to that particular section. Then if you take a look at this URL right here, this is a post request. That means that the code configuration is going to be a bit different from what we had before now. So this is going to be a post request, guys. All right, so and then the bills endpoint is this particular thing that you're seeing right here. Then what do we really need to make a post request or to make a bill? To create a bill, we're going to need the country code right here. As you can see, it has asterisk right there, and we're going to also need a customer, which I've already explained what that means to you. And after that, we'll need an amount. Look at it right here. We're going to need an amount, and then every other thing I think is optional, like the reference. This one is optional. And but I think it's really important so that you don't have to always generate a new code all the time. So we're going to include that, and we also need not really reference but recurrence. It's not really important. This one is for if you want customers to repeatedly pay for a particular bill, you can add that and then log them in for that repetitive payment. Then after that, we have a type, which is also compulsory. Okay, so we're going to have to set the type of the, what is it called, of the bill. So take your time to read what this thing is and you will understand it. So we have reference, we have biller, and I think these ones are still not really compulsory. So you've seen the things that are compulsory right now, and I'm going to stick to those ones that are compulsory. So if we go back to our development environment, we're going to prepare the environment for these things right now. So let's go back to our environment, and this is the environment. The first thing that I'm going to need right now is to let's first of all get our HTML code into this place. I'm going to go back to this page right now, and maybe we should even probably go ahead and then copy the HTML part. Let's take this part right now, and if we go back to paybill.php, let's go ahead and paste that in right there, and we're gonna work on this this part as soon as possible. Okay, but what I want us to do right now is to do something with the PHP part of it, which I'm going to go ahead and stick that up here. So let me first of all open the PHP tag up here and then close it down here. And I'm going to get the code that we need to make a post request right now. And just like I said before, I've been doing this a couple times on my channel, so trying to type that out right now will be a waste of time. So I'm going to just copy that, paste it, and then we'll go over it. Okay, so alright, so I have the code copied, the COI configuration code for post connection. I have that in my clipboard, so I'm going to paste that right here, and it started from here down to this particular place, and it's really quite simple. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is to start adding the right materials that we need to add to them. Okay, so the first one that we need now is to get the URL and then get it pasted right here. So if we go back to our browser right now, and if we scroll a little bit up, so we should be able to just copy this is the URL, the endpoint. So I'm going to copy that right now. And if I go back to my development environment, I have to stick it right here. Okay, so I'll paste that in there. That's the URL, and this particular URL now, this endpoint is going to be needed somewhere. So I'm going to copy this particular variable, and it's going to be needed in this place. You can alternatively stick that particular variable, the URL in there directly, but let me just put the endpoints, the variable endpoint right there. So we have that in place. And then we're going to need quite a few data. That will be a data that we're going to need, that we're going to stick into this place. Okay, and that particular data, we're going to create it up here. So I'm going to just put a comment here and say, so that's going to be create input data, like that. So we're going to have it there. All right, so that is just that for that part. And is there any other thing we need now? I think no. So to continue preparing this environment, let's first of all go to our HTML and then prepare the form before we go ahead and then prepare that data that we just talked about. And within our HTML, we're going to need a form, of course. Let me take these things away. So I'm going to take these away, and on this H1, I think let me go ahead and create. Let me close the H1 tag right there first of all. And I think that what we would need to have in that place is simple. We're going to just say bill payment. So we just say bill payment like that. And then that is just that for that particular place. And then for the title, I think we should also copy this and then put in the title area. So I'm going to just copy that and then put that into the title area. So I'm going to just change this. This is going to be equal to that bill payment. Alright, so we have that two things in place, and I think that our CSS is connected. So the next thing that we need to do right now is to go ahead and then work on our form right here. So the first thing that we need now to create, or the first field, is going to be what is it called, the meter number. So I'm going to take this away first of all. In fact, let me take let that go away. In fact, let me take everything away and then kind of create that afresh. So I'm going to create a label, So this is going to be label, and what I need in this first label now is going to be the meter. So I'm going to just say meter number, or we'll call that we should call that smart card number, like that. And we're going to need an input for that, so let's close the label like that. And then the input is going to be input is equal to input type is going to be equal to, of course this is going to be a number, so we're going to just say number, and that is just that. Then we're going to go ahead and give that a name. Let's say that the name is going to be equal to customer. So this is going to be customer, like that. And we're going to need a value. So we're going to just say value, and we are going to go ahead and set the value to nothing for now. But we're going to preview that part as we move along. So the next one that we need now is going to be, so we need to still set one more thing right now. You know, we're going to be getting this particular customer number from the URL. So for that reason, I don't want that to be changed. I'm going to just add an attribute called read only to that place, and that should probably be the last thing to add on that line for now. And that is just that. So what I'm going to do now is to go ahead and copy this particular label. So if I copy this, I'm going to go ahead and then paste it down here, and I will modify, which the second thing that I need right now is going to be amount. So I'm going to change this to amount, and the type is okay if it is number. Then I'm going to change the name to amount, and the value now is going to be we're still going to preview this. I mean, we're still going to put what is supposed to be in that place as we move along. So but for the name, it there. So that is just that for that one. And the next thing that we need now, we need one more field, which I'm going to go ahead and still paste right now, and that is going to be for the biller name. So this, I'm going to change this to biller name. This is going to be biller name, and we're going to change the type this time around to, we should go ahead and change that to text. That's going to be text. And you know what, I think this is going to be a select button. Okay, this particular one is going to be a select button, so I need to take that away. And again, before we move on, this particular line where we have amount, we are supposed to take away this read only attribute. It's not on that line, it's just only on the first line that we have that. So what I'm going to do right now is to go ahead and on this line that I'm working on right now, which is biller name, we're going to need select. Let's say that the name of the select or that particular field is going to be, let's say we go ahead and set that to be biller name. So I'm going to just say biller underscore name, and let's close that select button down here. So this is going to be select, and within the select we're going to need a couple of options, so basically two. So we're going to just say option, and in this option we're going to need a value. So I'm going to say value, and I'm going to set the value to be equal to the particular biller name that I want to use, which we are still going to go back to the categories, talking about this page, categories.php. So we are here right now. Let's say that the first one that we want to work on right now is going to be of course, you know what we're going to do right now. Let's finish creating that those fields first of all. I'm going to add this as we move along, but for now let's say we go ahead and close this, and then just like this. So we're going to say option, close that, and I'm going to copy this right now, and then on the next line if I paste that. So this particular one now, this first one now is going to be, let's say that one is going to be for the GOTV. So if that is going to be for the GOTV, what we need to do right now is to go ahead and get the GOTV as a biller name. How do we get that? If we take a look at this page where we're working on right now, anywhere you see biller underscore name like this, that really gives you the biller name. So under this place where we have this particular thing where it says biller underscore name, so this is the particular value that you need to take. Okay, remember this. If you want to get the biller name, just go to where we have biller underscore name and then copy that. So I'm going to copy that as it is, and they are case sensitive. Okay, this is case sensitive. So if you go back to your development environment, I need to paste that in here, and if I want what people will be seeing, I can go ahead and paste it right here. So just like that. Then you know, we need to also go back to this place and then query this particular page again for what is it called, for power. So if I go back here and change this to power, because I need to get that of the electricity, so I'm going to just say power, and if I save and then reload the page, I should be able to get the things that are peculiar to power. Now I should have copied this page and kept aside, but no problem. Let's query it again so that we can get power, because power is not among these ones we have here. Okay, and instead of going to and fro getting the billers for power and then that of the cable, if you take away this parameter right now, if you take away this thing and leave it like this is going to go ahead and fetch all of the billers in one page for you. Okay, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it to power like this, and this is probably maybe the last time we're going to type something on this page. So let's go to where were we? Okay, yeah, we were here. So it has queried the API, and everything in this page now is all about electricity or power. So if we scroll down to, remember that I said I'm in Enugu, so I should be looking for Enugu discrete electricity bill payments, something of that nature. So depending on where you are, if it is Ibadan, you can go look for Ibadan right here. If you are living in Eko, you should also be able to find that. So, but as for me, I'm living in Enugu. So what I'm looking for right now is this. Look at my own right here. These two things are the things that I'm looking at right now. Okay, so I'm looking at so this is the one I'm going to take right now. So this is the biller name for Enugu, and this is for prepaid. I'm going to copy this. If it is for postpaid, you need to come and copy this particular one. If it is for postpaid, if you want to test for postpaid, come and copy this one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this one because I'm going to kind of work for prepaid. It's a prepaid meter that I'm going to make use of. So I'll copy that particular one and then go back to the development environment, and you need to, let's go to pay.php, and that is what we need right here. So I'm going to paste that in here, and I can go ahead and then paste that in here also. So we basically have that option in place right now. Okay, so that's just what that is, and that's basically the two options that I'm going to create. So if you want to work on some other ones, you can go ahead and then put them right there. Okay, so but that's just the one that I want to make use of. So let me work on my submit button, and to work on my submit button is really very simple. I already have it here, so I'm going to just change this name. Instead of at least I'm going to just say submit, just like that, and then the word that I want people to see is going to be pay bill. So I'm going to change this to, this is going to be pay bill. And then for the, I think it would have been better if we use pay. I think we understand that better. Let's use pay here instead of using submit. So we're going to use the name as a pay. So that's basically what we need within the HTML part of this pay build. What is it called? PHP. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and then if we save this page right now, and let's take a look at that form from our browser. So if we go to GOTV, and if we click on continue to payment page, we should be able to land on that page right now. And we landed on that page, but it seems like we did not spell the URL correctly. Okay, I think we made a mistake with this particular page. So this is paybill.php, but if we go to, okay, let's go to this place, validate_GoTV, and if we scroll up to where we are really printing another URL, I think this is where we made the mistake. So one L is missing right here, so I'm going to include that, paybill.php. And then if we go back to that page again, this is GoTV. So if we go back to this page, all right, so we have that in place right now. If you hover your mouse button on this, if you look at this place, you see that the URL is now correct. So if we click on continue to payment, it should take us to the right place now. And this is the page. However, we have some error, okay, which is talking about that the data is this. Okay, I know why that error is showing up. So for now, I just want you to know that the customer ID is coming through the URL. So what we need to do now is to go ahead and then work on this particular thing right now. So if we go back to our script, I want us to go ahead and work on the form. So if we go to paybill.php, and you scroll to the, let's say we'll scroll to the top of this page. So what I want to do right now is to go ahead and use if statement to kind of check for the form that we have just created. If someone clicks on the submit button, we should be able to get all of the things that are in that page. However, the first thing that I want to check is for the I will check the URL for the customer ID. So to do that, I'm going to do it up here. So I'm going to just say if like that for now. So within this place, we're going to just say is set. So if is set, and this is going to be $_gate, just to get what is in the URL. And what do we really want to do within this curly bracket right now? We first of all want to capture what is in the URL, and to capture that is very, very simple. Let me first create a variable that I'm going to just call customer, and let that be customer, just like that. And we can go ahead and set that to, let's say, HTML special Charles, like that, which is a function. And within that function, we're going to go ahead and then we are going to just say $_gate, which is a super global variable, and whatever name that has, we're going to pass that in here as an index. So what is on the URL is called customer underscore. So this is going to be customer underscore ID, like that. And that is just what that is, to get something from the URL. And let's go ahead and terminate this line right now. And with that, we've really gotten the, all right. And the first thing I want us to do now, or the next thing, is I'm going to copy this curly bracket right now and then take it to the bottom of this page, because we're going to need this particular customer somewhere down on this page. So I'm going to copy this, and if I go down to this particular place, just immediately after this, I can go ahead and then paste that in here. And if you like, we can add an else part right there for it. But what I'm going to do first of all, let's go ahead and add an else part to that place. So we could say something like maybe you can just say die, and we can just pass in something like maybe a customer was not found, something of that nature. Okay, so then the next thing that I want to do right now, I want you to pay attention right now, is to now work on the form. Okay, so to work on that form right now, it's still very simple. To do it is not hard. What we're going to do right now, so under this place here right now, we're going to use if statement again to check for when somebody clicks on this form that we have on this page. Okay, I'm talking about this form that has the name of pay down here. Look at it, it has the name of a pay down here. So once somebody clicks on it, we want to check to make sure that maybe the person really filling the things that are needed in this page or not. Okay, and if you scroll up right now, we're going to just say if. So we're going to just say if within this place, we're going to say is set, and this time around, this one is going to be $_post, and what we need to pass in right here is going to be that name called pay. Okay, so then under this place now, this is now when we will now start kind of making sure that all of the data that are on that field are being captured, like the customer ID, the amount, and then the biller name. So let's first of all capture the customer ID now. So I'm going to create a variable, so I'll call that customer ID, and that is going to be equal to, so I'm going to copy this particular line right now, and I'm going to paste that in here, and I'm going to change this from get to post. So this is going to be post, and we're going to go ahead. I think what we'll have within the form is just called customer, and we're going to double check that right now. So if you scroll down to the form section, you see that the name for that customer, where is it? This is for customer. So this line is just called customer. So that's why I just removed the ID right there. Okay, so this is just how to get the customer. So now that we've gotten the customer in place, we need to get the amount. So I'll copy this and then paste that to get the amount. So this is going to be changed to amount, and so this is going to be amount, and within this place is going to be amount, which is also the name from the form. Then the last thing that we want to do right now on that line is going to be the biller name. So I'm going to just create a variable, sorry about that. So this is going to be a biller underscore name, and we're going to go ahead and then I think I have that already pasted. So we need to just modify this. So this is going to be changed to, this is going to be biller underscore name, and we can go ahead and then change this to biller underscore name, like that. So I think this is the three things that we'll have on that place. Okay, and but then we're going to need this particular curly bracket again. We're going to have to take this, I'm going to cut this and then take it down to the underneath it. Remember, it is inside of this if statement, so we need to put it just before the else part. So we're going to have to put that down here. Okay, so I'm going to put that else part in here just to make sure that it's within the what is it called, the if statement for the GET request. So I'm going to paste that curly bracket here. All right, so that's just it right there. So we have the curly bracket in there, and yeah, so let us complete something in here. Okay, so remember that we had an error that said that something is required in this place, and that is just the data that this particular query is going to need to go ahead and process whatever that it needs. And to do that, we're going to have to kind of do that up here. It's really very simple to do it. So what we're going to do now is to just create a variable up here. So I'm going to create a variable up here and then prepare this particular data. It's going to be an array. What this place needs is just an array. So what I'm going to do now, let's go ahead and create a variable and call that post. Let's call that post data, and we're going to go ahead and set that to be equal to array, like that. And we can go ahead and then structure the array. You can go ahead and structure it your own way, but I'm going to just go ahead and do this right now. So this is how I will structure my own. I can go ahead and then create the those things that we already talked about on the documentation, talking about the customer, the country code, the amount, and then the type, even the reference. So I hope you remember that. Okay, I hope you remember that. If you don't remember, let me show you that page again. I'm talking about these parameters. So I'm talking about the parameters, all these parameters that are on this page. Okay, so the parameters that are on this particular page, so I'm talking about these body parameters that we'll have on this page, such as country. If you scroll down, you see some other ones, which I think I've shown you. We have customer, we have amount, and then the likes. So let's go back and then create that data right now. So of course, you clearly saw that the index name for that was called country. So I'm going to first of all create the country right here. So if I say country, so I'm going to just say country, and I want to use arrow now to format this. So this is going to be equal to, then with an arrow like that, I'm going to go ahead and then set that to NG, which is short for Nigeria. If you are from Uganda, you can just say UG, and if you are from Ghana, I think it's GH. Okay, just find out your country code and then put that in there. So I'm going to separate it with a comma, and then on the next line I'm going to bring in the customer. So this is going to be customer, and that is going to be set to be the customer ID, which we have in here. So that is gotten from the form, and yeah, I'm going to just copy that and then put it right here. It's a variable name, and then I'm going to separate that again with comma. And the next thing that I need is going to be the amount. So I'm going to just say amount, and this is going to be set to be equal to the variable name called amount right there. We have it up there. So we're going to just say amount, and I'll separate that again. And the last thing, I think the last thing that I need now is going to be the reference. So let me add reference like that, and I hope I spelled that right. So that's going to be equal to, with an arrow like that, and I'm going to go ahead and then generate what is it called, a reference, and I'm going to go ahead and then generate references for this particular payment or this particular transfer. And to do that in PHP, there's a function called a unique ID, and just like that, you can, if you want it to be long enough, you can concatenate onto the same function again, or method. So I'm going to just go ahead, and then the last one doesn't have to have a comma. Okay, so I'm going to just stop at that point, and then what I'm going to do is to copy this particular variable, and then I'll go ahead and then paste it in here. That's the data it needs. So I'll paste that in there. Okay, and let's take a look at our code very well. And I think one more thing that we need is to, sorry about this. Oh wow, I'm really sorry for that distraction. Someone really called me in the middle of the recording. So we are at this point, and what we really need to do is to go ahead and get our what is it called, our BR API key, and then stick it in here. So I'm going to go ahead and stick mine by going to this page let me go to this page and get mine. Okay, so this is mine, and just like I said before, you don't have to be using my own, so make sure you use yours. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that right here, and if I save, that should be it for now. However, we can take a look at our code to make sure that everything we have, that we truly have what we really need on the page. And I think we do not need this particular line on our page anymore. I don't know why I left it there, so I need to take that away right now. So that is that. So let's really look at everything and make sure that all is correct before we give that a try. And oh wow, look, we have a serious error in here. So this is not how. Oh my god, sorry guys. All right, I'm sorry about that, but now you see there is an error here. So we're supposed to have something of this nature on that place. So I'm going to copy this and then put it back to this place. That's how it should be. Yeah, I believe that it's correct now. And yeah, so let's still take a look at it very well. I don't want to run the code and then start debugging it again. So under this place where we'll have else. All right, so let's go ahead and then let's go and try it on our browser. And if we refresh this web page right now, let's see what that is going to give us. We had this error before, so but let's see whether we've solved it. And it seems like we solved that. So yes, so that looks really correct, except that we do not have this place prefilled for us automatically. And if you see, we cannot type into it. I'm trying to type now, but I can't type. So we really need to get into that place where we have value and then put what is supposed to be in that place. So if we go back to the development environment right now and we scroll down to where the form is, so we need to, so if we scroll down to where the form is, right there where we'll have the smart card number, I'm talking about this particular place right now, we need to automatically prefill that page, that value with our PHP. So we're going to just say PHP echo, and what we're going to put in there is the customer. So I'm just going to say customer, and we need to close the PHP tag. And I'm going to use this opportunity to just copy this, and then I'm going to put it where we'll have amount, and what we're going to put in the amount is going to be the variable for the amount. So I'm going to just say amount like that. And then the last one I think is we don't really need to prefill this particular one. So if we save this right now, we can go ahead and then refresh our web page. So if we refresh, you see, we automatically, that now came in. So that is just what I was trying to get. Okay, so that came in. We don't have to type this in when we get to this page. Okay, so then we can go ahead and enter the amount we want to pay and then select whatever bill that we want to make payment for. So let me go back to the index page right now, and let's use the opportunity to test the application. So I'm going to just hit refresh the index page. So let's go for electric bill payment at this moment. So I'm going to click on this, and that should take us to the payment page, and we need to enter what is it called, the payment the meter number here. So it's going to be 015 900 165 2811. So if we hit on validate customer, so that's going to go through and it's going to validate the customer, as you can see. Then you can go ahead and then click on this line. So the minimum to pay is just 100 naira. We're going to test that. I think I have up to 100 naira in my balance. So we're going to click on continue to payment, and I think we still have that same problem we have on the other one for this. So we still need to work on that. So let me go back to the development environment, and if we go to validate and we'll scroll to the section where we right here. So let's correct this. We also did the same thing since we copied the page the other time. So we'll save this, and if we go back to the browser, and we should be able to get into that page right now, and that prefilled this page for us automatically. So what we need to do right now is to go ahead and enter the amount that we want to pay. So I'm going to just enter 100 naira right now, and then I'm going to select Enugu Disco Electric Bill prepaid top up, and of course I have to click on that, but let me check my account to be sure that I have up to 100 naira at this moment. So if I go to my account, alright, so in my account I have 218 naira. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try the payment. However, I think I told you in the beginning of the video that these people really have issues with their billers. Okay, I don't know whether this is going to go through, but we're going to go ahead and test if they have worked on it. Truly, if they have really updated the stuff right now, I think it should be able to go through and then show us the receipts of the payment. So let's go back to the bill payment and let's go ahead and hit on pay, and we'll keep our fingers crossed for what is going to come back for us. And we'll have something that says we'll see. If you look at this place, we'll have error, and the message says please specify the following parameter in the body, which they say type. Oh my god, so we did not specify the type, which if you take a look at the documentation, where is it again? The documentation talked about type. So let's scroll down. So this place is talked about type, and type means that we should fix the possible values to pass from data dots biller underscore the bill category endpoints. Note that these values are case sensitive and must be passed exactly the way it was returned on the category API. Did we not pass in this? This is biller name. Type biller name. Do we have customer here? So this is the customer identifier. Okay, customer is in place. What we are missing right now is type. Wow. So let's go back to the development environment, and if we go to pay bill, so we are here. If we scroll to where we talked about those things, oh wow, we did not have the biller right here, which is really weird. We're supposed to have passed that in before now. So we're going to just say type. So this is going to be type, and that's going to be equal to the variable that contains the biller name, which I don't know if we'll capture that up here, but yeah, we have that. So this is it. So we're going to copy this, and then we should be able to drop it down right here, and then introduce a comma. So if we save this and then we'll go back and try again, I believe that that particular error must have been solved by now. So what are we going to do now? Let's go ahead, and then I'm going to copy. Okay, let's go back to this page again. Let's go back to the biller. So I'm going to copy this and then go back to the home page again. So let's go through it again. If I click on bill, electric bill validation, okay, then it's going to take us to this page. Then I'll paste that smart card number, the meter number. Then I'll click on validate customer, and that's validated successfully. And let's click on continue to payment page, and this page opens up. So let's try it again by entering 100 naira and then change this to Enugu Disco Electric Bill. So click on pay bill, and then we have passed that particular error, but it now says that the message now is operator underscore failure, which is really the error that I've been telling you guys about their bill payment. Okay, so I think they have not really fixed this part, so I will keep on disturbing them. But had it been that their biller, their Enugu electricity bill payment of 18 is working, we are not supposed to have this error that we have up here. So that is just that. I think we should just, all of us should just keep on disturbing them about the operator. So this one is not something that we can do from here. It's something that they really need to add from their side. So there's nothing wrong with this code up to this point. So that is just what that is. And then I think I cannot continue to creating the success page from here, and so that is just that. All right, so I can't continue to creating the success page. I think that's the only thing remaining, either the success or the failure page. You guys can do that, but yeah, I think, and I don't have enough money on my, what is it called, on my page for me to make payment for this particular biller, talking about the GOTV. So I have only 218, or I think we should still try it. I think we should be able to have something like insufficient fund. Okay, so if everything goes through, if we test that one now and everything goes through, what we should have is something like insufficient fund. Okay, we're not going to have operator failure like this. Operator failure simply means that the what is it called, the biller, the electricity biller is not really ready on that part. Okay, so they are not ready, they are not, I think they have removed that service on their endpoint, so we have to keep on disturbing them. However, let's just go ahead and try the GOTV part of it. If we get something like insufficient fund, that means that that one is working at the moment. Alright, so if we click on GOTV validation right now, that's going to take us to this page. So what I'm going to do right now is to go ahead and then put in that number again, which is 70,350,03908. So if we click on validate customer, and that has gone through. So if we continue to make payments, and let's say 800, that's what this particular one demands, and that's GOTV Lite. We're going to click on pay bill, and if you take a look at this one right now, we've just tested the GOTV, and if you see the message says insufficient fund, so that's what I'm just telling you guys about. So we have insufficient fund in my wallet, so it's not up to 800. Had it been is up to 800, it could have been success. This status would have been success, and the message will now kind of show you some other things, and this data will not be null. It's going to show you the rest of the stuff. So thank you guys for watching. I think I will stop here, and you go ahead and then create the success page by yourself if you have enough money in your wallet. Okay, if you have enough money in your wallet, you are going to get some data, and then go ahead and then make the payment. You get the data, create your success page and your failed page. Okay, and don't forget to contact Flutterwave about their electricity bill payment issues. Okay, so we need to keep on bombarding them so that they can go ahead and then do something to that. Thank you guys for watching, and then I will see you in the next one.